beautiful soul. My name is Mara, and I welcome you to this pick a card reading. So today we are going to be looking at what are you letting go of in your life, and as a reflection of that, what is coming in its place. So when we are being asked to remove things, to detox things, to let go of something, there's typically a reason for that. Maybe not typically, there's always a reason for that. And it's important for us to recognize that something is coming in its place, that something will grow and really be invited to integrate itself into our lives if we accept it. So let's go ahead and jump into the reading selection. I have 3 little bottles here with some goodies inside for you to choose from. So let's go ahead. I'm going to hold these up to the camera, and while I do that, I will be playing a sound for those that would like to choose their reading clairaudiently. So starting off, we have a jar of juniper berries. And then we've got a jar of fairy dust with a little rose charm. And then we have a jar of gems. All right. If you need more time, you can pause the video or you can go down to the description box and hit the reading selection timestamp. We are going to start with reading number 1, but all 3 will be timestamped in the description as well. And if you are interested in purchasing or learning more about the tarot deck that I will be using today, then you can find the link to that in the description as well. So yeah, I will see you at your reading. Hello, group number 1. Welcome to your reading. Let's go ahead and dive into what is it that you are letting go of, and then we will kind of explore what is coming in its place. So I'm just going to give my deck a shuffle. Okay. Okay, so for group number 1, Spirit, what are they letting go of right now? Okay, so I really feel like this is about you letting go of something that you really thought was going to last a long time. So it feels like you have been on this really long journey and you started to receive some kind of reward, some kind of manifestation that felt a little bit more permanent than the universe intended for it to be. And so it does kind of feel like there is this falling away of what is false, what is no longer working for you. And it doesn't mean that it didn't serve you and it didn't align with you at one point in time, but I do feel like at this point, you are needing something a little bit more deeper. You're needing a deeper connection to the things in your life because you yourself have gotten to this space of true authenticity. And so it is feeling like a pretty hard decision because I do feel like even though it's something that is naturally falling away in your life, you are the one that has to make the decision to actually let it go. It's not something that is just going to leave on its own. You have to make the decision to go forward and no longer rely on whatever this really shiny, new, and fresh thing has been for you. So it does feel like a hard decision. It feels like you're unable to kind of see the bigger picture, that maybe you're struggling with understanding how something like that good could leave your life and something better could come to you. So let's take a look. Okay. Your spirit guides are pretty quick on the answers. I don't even have time to ask the question. Let's take a look at what is coming in its place. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. There is this feeling that this is a divine plan. This has been a plan all along. And I actually want to grab one more card. Okay, I just wanted to clarify this Five of Swords here. So this has been the plan all along, is for you to receive this initial gift, this thing that maybe at one point in time you felt was too good to be true, something that you were like, well, I'll never receive that. I want it really bad, but it's just a desire that lives rent free in my mind. And the universe delivered on it. And so there's this feeling that if you sacrifice that, if you give it up, then you're saying, I don't appreciate it, or you're saying, I'm not in alignment with this, or you're saying that you don't want it. And that's just simply not the case. You are meant to shed things as you move along the wheel of fortune. You are meant to shed and to gain and to release and then to gain more and so on. There's nothing that is very permanent or or anything that you can really hold on to forever except for change. Change is the only constant thing that exists in our lives. And so in this thing's place, I do see you achieving more. I see you actually feeling satisfied in the long run and really grabbing a hold of the things that you feel emotionally connected and drawn towards. So the 10 of wands here in relation to the 5 of swords is kind of feeling like you may have a tendency to kind of self-sabotage is a hard term because I feel like it's a little bit deeper than that. It is stemming from some kind of belief system that tells you, you know, you have to do all of these steps in order to receive, that you have to make it really, really complicated in order to feel worthy of your accomplishments. And maybe up until this point, you have lived your life when you receive a something that you have succeeded in. It's more of a relief and not this feeling of being proud of yourself. And so there's this need for you to really invest in your emotions, for you to really process, why do you feel that way when you receive good news, when you receive an accomplishment? Is it because it's more of an expectation? Is it because it's more of something that you've placed on yourself, a weight? And so what you will be receiving in this thing's place is true fulfillment, is this feeling of connectedness to the things that you want, but only if you're willing to do that emotional work to get to this space. And it definitely feels like you are willing. It definitely feels like you are capable of making that decision to move forward in a more intuitively aware space. Wow. Yeah, this has been the divine plan all along. This has been the plan for you. And it feels like your guides are sending you this reading as a confirmation that, you know, it's okay for you to let go. You don't have to feel like if you are letting this go, that it's a sacrifice and you won't receive anything in its place. That's not how the universe works. That's not how your guides are setting the stage for you. You are meant to receive the things that truly align with you on a deep emotional level. I love that energy for you. So yeah, this was a pretty quick and to the point reading, but I feel like it's a good message here that you are worthy of the things that you want, and if you just open yourself up to receiving achievements and processing what success means for you, not placing a bunch of expectations and weight upon achieving what you want, then you will receive such greatness in your life. And it feels like a little bit more long term than what you had going on before. This feels more stable. And so it's going to kind of bleed out into other areas of your life as well. Okay, so if you found this reading helpful and insightful and exciting, then please consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I do post a weekly pick a card reading. Yeah, and I do go live on TikTok over there if you want. I have my handle down in the description box as well. I go live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and I do readings over there. And if you'd like to book a private reading with me, you can email me at the email that's in the description box. So, yeah, I wish you all the best in letting go so that you can receive this much better circumstance and achievements in your life. Blessed be. Hello, group number 2. Welcome to your reading. Let's go ahead and jump into what are you letting go of, and as a reflection, what is coming your way. Okay. For group number 2, Spirit, what are they letting go of? Okay. Some really big energy here. Okay. This feels really heavy. It feels like there is a lot that's weighing on you. There is a lot of pain, um, some really negative belief systems, and it feels like it's coming from this space that has been previously unattainable. It's almost like recently you've been tapping into this because you chose to walk this path of self-discovery, because you chose to really invest in yourself and for you to see and understand the bigger picture of your life. Mm. This feels really like you just need a hug right now, because I feel like you had really, and you still have really good intentions in figuring all of this out, but it's a little bit much right now. I feel like you may be overwhelmed, that there's this feeling of maybe like you feel like you won't be able to get out of this. Like there's this heaviness that exists in these belief systems that you're struggling with, and they feel very permanent. The trauma of it feels very permanent. And I feel like your guides are sending you this reading right now to remind you that it's not. You are still moving forward. It's an emotional journey, absolutely. There is a lot for you to digest here. There's a lot for you to discover. There's a lot for you to let go. But but you are doing the work. You are making progress. And I feel like right now, at this point in your journey, it's about resting. It's about allowing yourself to really just recuperate from what you've dived into. The things that you chose to really invest your time and energy into are important, and they're big, and they're meaningful, and you had a strong purpose for doing this work. And just because you need some time to rest, just because you need a break, doesn't mean that you aren't actively healing. It doesn't mean that you have given up on this journey. I still feel like you are really moving in the right direction. You're really detoxing and allowing yourself to fully understand the things that you've got going on. There is just a lot being shed. And sometimes when you're shedding things, when you're detoxing from an emotional point of view, or um, yeah, just an emotional point of view, it's going to take a lot out of you. Your physical body needs to rest. Your physical body needs to be able to process things just as much as your mind does. So give yourself some space to rest along this journey. So, what you are letting go of are some pretty big belief systems that have really held you back in a significant way for a really long time. This could be something from your childhood. It could be that you're doing some pretty intense shadow work at this point in your life. It could be that something has triggered you and you decided to go on the path to really dissolve that. But yeah, it feels big. It definitely feels big. So now let's take a look at what you are replacing these things with. Okay, if I can pick this up. All right. Okay. So I feel like this is all about you stepping into a leadership role in a way that's going to make you more flexible in life, in a way that will allow you to make more fun decisions. I do feel like you're learning a lot. There's a lot being available to you. And so, as you let go of these limiting mindsets, these beliefs that have really held you back, you're stepping into a much more free point of view. You're stepping into more of an expansive lifestyle. And so I feel like there's almost this identity shift that does involve a little bit of anxiety or worry. It does kind of feel like you're, excuse me, integrating a new lifestyle. And so it's important not to rush yourself into this process. You want to go slow and steady and really be mindful along this journey because you are opening yourself up to a lot. There's a lot that will come in the place of these things that have held you back for a really long time, especially since you are opening yourself up to more than just what you've been focused on for so long. It feels like you're expanding. And as a result, the universe is going to be sending you this security, this feeling of stability from the point of view of freedom. I hope that makes sense because I feel like there's a lot that you've been worried about, and there's this deeper understanding that's coming into point of view of you really fully getting the bigger picture, of you really understanding that things haven't been happening as a result of you doing badly. Things have been happening as a result to push you into this space to feel more free, to feel more aligned. And so these things that you've been really worried about, they're going to be understood. They're going to be understood. And I feel like there's this message with the Hierophant that, you know, this is it speaks of being absolved of something. And so if you're feeling a lot of shame, a lot of guilt, this really low energy, then it feels like you will be kind of relieved of that. It feels like an expansion outwards into a much more stable and uplifting point of view. But I do feel like it's going to be a bit of a heavy transition into this point of view. Um, I wish it was more of a lighter experience. I wish that it was more of like, you made this decision to feel these things and then whoop, they're gone. But it feels a little bit more complex than that. And that's okay. I feel like once you do this work, you're not going to have to revisit these same lessons. And so it's worth it to take your time. It's worth it to experience all of the heaviness that really is included in this emotional journey because you are creating this space of stability for yourself. You are creating that personality trait within yourself that really says, I'm going to provide for me. I'm going to do what's best for me. I hold my own power in my own hands. I hold my finances, my stability, my home life. I hold my health in my own hands and I take charge. There is this definite feeling of power. There's this feeling of balance. There's this feeling of really understanding, again, the bigger picture of what your life has to offer and everything that you have done to lead up to this point. So you are receiving intuitive downloads, you're receiving stability, you're receiving power, you're receiving flexibility and a deeper understanding of the things that you have gone through so that you can feel peace, so that you can be absolved of those really painful experiences that you have attached emotion to. Wow. I really, really like this energy for you. I feel like if you chose this pile, then you know that you are meant to be on this path. And again, there is that message of resting. So make sure that you are resting. On the bottom of the deck, each time that I pulled the cards, it's a very heavy swords energy. And so I do feel like there's a lot of like a mental game for you to navigate throughout this journey, but it'll be worth it. Again, it will be worth it. Okay. So if you found this reading helpful and insightful and you like the way that I do read tarot, then please consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I do post a weekly pick a card reading over here. I also post daily content and daily energy reads over on my TikTok. You can check that out. The handle is in my description box. So yeah, I hope to see you at the next reading. I wish you all of the best in your journey moving forward. You're amazing and you've totally got this. Blessed be. Hello, group number 3. Welcome to your reading. Let's go ahead and dive into everything that you are letting go of. And as an extension, what is coming in its place? Okay, for group number 3, Spirit, what are they letting go of? Okay. It felt like you tried something new. Like you saw something for yourself and you really wanted to build a lot of goals towards it. You put a lot into it. There was a lot of effort, there was a lot of strength involved, like courage. You really had to trust the process, and it's just feeling like it feels like there's just this mess surrounding it. Like it's really, really complicated at this point, and it no longer feels like you're moving at your desired pace. It feels like you're moving at this really forced pace. Like you're no longer connected to what it is you started. And and because of that, it feels very much like you feel like you are giving up on your dreams or something that you at one point in time really felt connected to. And I feel like your guides are sending you this message to kind of reaffirm that you are on the right path, but there is definitely an adjustment that needs to happen. It definitely feels like the way that you're currently going about things is no longer authentic to you, and that is okay. It is okay to recognize that and to make a shift, to change, to really move your goals in in a new way, in a way that's going to be more authentic to you. It's okay if you've already invested a lot into this path. It doesn't mean that you're letting it go entirely, but I do feel like there are aspects of this that you do need to let go to make room for a smoother journey. So let's go ahead and look at what's coming in its place as you let go of the things that are no longer working for you. Okay. Okay, there is this feeling that new ideas are going to come to you. new things, and you may already know what it is that you need to let go of in order to step into this new space. But when these ideas come, you do need to trust them, because I feel like you may be putting yourself out there a little bit. And it's a little nerve wracking, because I do feel like there's this waiting period where you may not see instant results. You may not see the instant manifestation of the thing that you want. And so it's important to remember that if you choose to let go of the things that are no longer working for you in regards to this project or this adventure, this work adventure, maybe it's a diet, maybe it's there's something that is no longer sticking and it's no longer making sense for you. And so as you let that go, moving forward, you may not feel deeply connected to anything. It may not make sense for you until it's right in front of you, is what I'm feeling. And so there is this message of just kind of waiting. You don't need to force anything to be. If you try to force something into its place, like if you try to let go and then force something to work that you intuitively know, that's it's just not gonna land, then you will probably find that you're back in the same position, that things are no longer progressing forward. And so if you're going to make this adjustment, make sure that you are clear and confident about that decision. Allow yourself to make those goals really clear for yourself, so that when you're ready to receive, you are fully ready, that it makes sense for you, and the path forward does make clear sense to you on an emotional and a mental level. So I am seeing that in its place, you are no longer fighting against the current of your own life. You're no longer feeling like you have to really um like I just feel like there's the word force is really coming to mind. There's this sense of using all of your willpower to really get to where you want, and I feel like that's just not going to be the case anymore. As you really lean into these new ideas and you stay open to what the universe is sending to you, and you stay supported, you stay holding on to your desires of, like, what you can do in the meantime, that you're not worried about all the little things that you need to do in order to get things done. It feels like things are kind of happening a little bit more naturally. And as a result, you're able to rest more. You're able to recuperate, and you're able to really invest in yourself, in your physical health and your mental health, as a result of no longer straining and forcing your way through a situation that doesn't make sense for you. And beauty, behold, I feel like there's this wonderful energy coming through, that is just so it's almost like it's wrapping you in this warm blanket, and it feels like you're going to feel more connected to the path that you really set out on initially. So just because something's no longer working for you in your project, I feel like you're probably an entrepreneurial person, but that may just make sense to my life, because I feel like in relation, I'm trying to make sense of what this could be, and I do need to leave it open because it is a general reading. But if you are an entrepreneur, it feels like you need to continue on your original path, but just let go of the things that aren't really authentic to you. There's something that you started doing to feel more like you would attract more clients, or there's something, I'm getting too specific, but it feels like you need to let go of that idea to make room for what actually is going to bring you the people that are going to harmonize with what you've got going on. There's this really healing energy that comes forward when you give yourself the space to digest what makes sense for you. And so, yeah, it feels like this journey is a very um trusting one. Like, you are going to have to put more trust into yourself and the universe's ability to provide for you, but ultimately it'll be worth it. It will be worth it, because you'll have more freedom, you'll have a lot more peace of mind, and you won't feel like you're drudging through the hard times just to get by. This feels very much like you're reconnecting with your original passion, your original desire to feel connected to your craft. So yeah, I feel like this is a really positive direction, and what you are letting go of, it's going to be so worth it. It may be a little bit scary, but trust yourself. Trust that you will have the right ideas at the right time, and what you are letting go of will be replaced with much more harmony. So if you found this reading helpful and enlightening, then please consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I do post a weekly pick a card over here, and I'm also on TikTok. I go live and do readings all the time on every week. So go ahead and check me out over there. I also post daily content on TikTok as well. So yeah, I wish you all the best along your journey. I feel like you're making the right moves, just need a little bit of adjustment. So yeah, blessed be.